Have you ever stood beneath a tangled green ceiling and wondered what secrets it holds? Today, we're not just planting a vegetable. We're growing a vertical jungle of bitter melon. From a single unassuming seed to dozens of crisp, healthy fruits hanging in the sun. This journey asks for patience, precision, and a little bit of love. If you've ever wanted to grow your own organic food but didn't know where to begin, stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly how a simple garden bed transforms into a thriving, productive paradise. Let's begin. It all starts with the seed. Bitter melon seeds wear a tough protective shell to help them sprout evenly. I carefully trim the very tip of each seed with scissors, just enough to let moisture in, never enough to harm the embryo inside. Then they rest in clean water for 4 to 5 hours. This soaking phase is like an alarm clock telling the seed it's time to grow. Afterward, I wrap them in a damp, breathable cloth, keep them warm, and wait. Within a couple of days, tiny white roots push through. That's the moment life quietly begins. Young sprouts need a gentle beginning. I fill small nursery pots with loose, well-draining soil. Each seed gets its own space, planted just half an inch deep. A fine mist of water keeps the surface moist without drowning them. I place the pots in a bright, sheltered spot and let nature do its work. In about a week, the first true leaves unfurl. They look fragile, but they're already building strength. Many gardeners rush this stage, but patience here pays off tenfold when the plants face the sun. While the seedlings grow, I prepare their permanent home. This bed had been resting, covered in dry debris and old roots. I clear everything away, then turn the soil with a hoe to break up compaction. Bitter melon thrives in loose, nutrient-rich earth. I add a generous layer of wood ash for potassium, followed by organic fertilizer. I mix everything until the soil feels dark, crumbly, and alive. Good soil isn't just dirt. It's the silent partner in every harvest. 7 days later, the soil has settled and warmed. I add a final layer of well-rotted compost, working it gently into the top few inches. This isn't just plant food. It's a living ecosystem. Microbes, earthworms, and nutrients working together to create resilience. I level the surface, smooth out the edges, and step back. The bed is ready. The seedlings are waiting. Soon, they'll call this place home. Look at these seedlings now. Strong stems, vibrant leaves, roots holding tight to their soil. It's time to move them. I dig holes slightly larger than the root balls. Place each plant carefully and backfill with soil. No rushing, no rough handling. I press gently around the base to remove air pockets, then give them a slow, deep watering. This settles the roots and eases transplant shock. They might droop slightly at first, but give them 3 days, and they'll stand taller than before. Bitter melon is a climber by nature. Left on the ground, the fruit will rot, and pests will find it easily. So, we build them a ladder to the sky. I use a sturdy metal frame and strong nylon ropes spaced about a foot apart. Each rope is anchored at the base and stretched taut to the top bar. This vertical system saves space, improves airflow, and makes every step of care easier. As the vines grow, I gently guide them onto the ropes. They'll grab hold on their own, but a little direction at the start changes everything. I feed them with a balanced liquid fertilizer, diluted and poured at the base. Water deeply, but never let the soil stay warm. 35 days in, bitter melon transformation, consistent moisture. But what was once a row of tiny seedlings is now your wall. Bright yellow flowers bloom everywhere. Some are male, some are female. You can tell by the tiny bumpy fruit already forming at the base of the female flowers. By day 42, the canopy is thick. The vines are racing to the top, and the first melons are swelling. Once they reach the top bar, I pinch off the growing tips. This stops vertical growth and triggers side branching, which means more flowers, more fruit, and a heavier harvest. Now comes the quiet art of training. I remove all lower leaves and side shoots up to the first trellis wire. This forces the plant to send its energy upward. I tie the main stems loosely to the rope, leaving room for thickening growth. Too tight, and you'll choke it. Too loose, and it won't climb. 35 days in, and the transformation is breathtaking. What was once a row of tiny seedlings is now a living green wall. Bright yellow flowers bloom everywhere. Some are male, some are female. You can tell by the tiny bumpy fruit already forming at the base of the female flowers. By day 42, the canopy is thick, the vines are racing to the top, and the first melons are swelling. Once they reach the top bar, I pinch off the growing tips. This stops vertical growth and triggers side branching, which means more flowers, more fruit, and a heavier harvest. By now, the vines have conquered the trellis, but the real secret to a heavy harvest happens right here at the bottom. I take my shears and carefully remove every leaf, side shoot, and tangled tendril that's resting on or near the soil. It might look like I'm cutting away progress, but I'm actually making room for life. These lower leaves block airflow, trap humidity, and become a breeding ground for fungus and soil-borne pests. Clearing the base isn't just cleanup, it's prevention. It lets sunlight reach the soil, invites a gentle breeze through the stems, and keeps the plant breathing easy. Once the base is open, it's time to feed. I sprinkle a balanced organic fertilizer around each plant, keeping a careful distance from the main stem to avoid burning tender roots. Then I gently work it into the top inch of soil and cover it with a thin layer of fresh compost. This isn't just nutrients, it's a quiet thank you to the roots. They've anchored these climbing giants, absorbed every drop of water, and now they need replenishment. With the lower canopy cleared and the roots fed, the plant's energy stops wasting itself downward. It flows straight up into stronger vines, more flowers, and fruit that grows long, straight, and flawless. As the fruits grow, I begin bagging them. It might look unusual, but these breathable mesh bags are a game changer. They protect the melons from fruit flies, birds, and sun scald, while keeping the skin smooth and unblemished. I slip each bag over a young fruit and secure it gently at the stem. Meanwhile, I continue pruning. I remove yellowing leaves, crowded branches, and any shoots that aren't setting fruit. Good airflow prevents disease. Healthy plants don't just survive, they thrive. Weeks pass, and the garden becomes a tapestry of green. The trellis bows slightly under the weight of fruit, each one protected, each one growing straight and true. I check them daily. Bitter melon is best harvested young and tender. When the skin is still bright green and the bumps are plump, wait too long and they turn yellow. The seeds harden and the flavor becomes overwhelmingly bitter. Timing is everything. I also do a final round of light pruning, opening up the canopy so sunlight reaches every leaf. Light is food, air is medicine, and consistency is the secret. As the bitter melons swell and take shape, the canopy above them grows dense. But a thick roof isn't always a blessing. When the fruits are this large, those overlapping leaves start casting deep shadows, trapping humidity and pulling energy away from what matters most. It's time for a gentle intervention. I reach up to the top of the trellis and begin thinning the upper canopy. This isn't about stripping the plant bare. It's about balance. With clean, sharp shears, I carefully remove only the leaves that are overcrowded, yellowing, or directly blocking light from the fruit. I always leave a few strategic leaves above each melon to act as a natural umbrella, shielding the skin from harsh sun and preventing sun scald. Every cut is deliberate, made cleanly at the node, never torn. I prune in the late morning when the sap has settled to minimize stress. Watch what happens next. Light filters through like stained glass. Air moves freely. The plant stops wasting energy on excess foliage and channels everything into the fruit. The melons grow straighter, the texture tightens, and the flavor deepens. This is the quiet art of restraint, knowing when to hold on and when to let go. Now, with the canopy open and the fruits exposed to just the right balance of light and air, they're ready for their final push toward harvest. And now, the moment we've been working toward, the harvest. I take my shears, snip the stem cleanly, and hold up the first fruit. Look at that shape. Look at that color. Crisp, heavy, perfect. I gather them one by one, careful not to damage the vines. They'll keep producing for weeks if you harvest regularly. This isn't just food on a plate. It's the result of patience, careful hands, and a quiet conversation with the soil. Thank you for growing with me. If this journey inspired you to cultivate your own vertical paradise, please subscribe and like the video. We are uncovering the natural wisdom that has been hidden for generations. Let's grow the future together. The next harvest of knowledge will be ready soon.